Look, I haven't changed at all. My politics hasn't changed. They've changed. People say to me sometimes, have you changed? No. It's that 5 years ago, no one was talking about defunding the police. I never heard that phrase 5 years ago. That's not me changing. That's things changing. I'm reacting to it, as I've always been. Letting 3-year-olds decide what gender they are. This wasn't something 5 years ago.
Yes, Bill, the world is changing, and that's a good thing. This is Rebel HQ. I'm Sandee Lovas. Bill Maher sat down with Ben Shapiro to have a heart-to-heart on current issues, and Bill's perspective, his bubble, no, that's not it, privilege. Bill's privilege was on full display.
Yes, we have a very sorry history racially in this country, including a lot of stuff that's still going on right now. I mean, it's not like racism is extirpated here in America, but it is very different than it was, and we need to live in the present era, in the present time with the present conditions.
No, we don't. We can fight for change.
If woke, I assume at a certain moment, and it wasn't that long ago before we didn't have the term. I only heard it, I don't know what it was, 3-4 years ago? 5 years ago at most, when we heard the term woke, and it was like alert to injustice. I'm like, okay, I'm down with that. I always have been. I hope people still understand that about me. But yes, it became sort of a byword for a lot of this goofy stuff.
Goofy? These issues, trans rights, the need to defund the police. What? Because they don't affect you? They're goofy? People have died because we're not talking about these issues. They're not goofy issues to the people it's affecting every day.
That's what I'm always railing against. That's why, they play me on Fox News now.
They play you on Fox News because you're a useful idiot.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about that? Because you went from the guy who was...
I feel... Look, I haven't changed at all. My politics hasn't changed. They've changed. People say to me sometimes, have you changed? No. It's that 5 years ago, no one was talking about defunding the police. I never heard that phrase 5 years ago.
The idea of defund the police isn't a new idea. It's been going on for ages. We're just talking about it more now. The need to defund the police is becoming more and more apparent the more and more we see police violence on majority people of color. People have been killed by the police, people who would still be alive, who didn't need to die because of the actions of the police.
That's not me changing. That's things changing. I'm reacting to it, as I've always been. Letting 3-year-olds decide what gender they are. This wasn't something 5 years ago.
It's not even about allowing a 3-year-old to choose their gender. It's about letting them express themselves how they choose. It's about us not putting them in some sort of gendered box and telling them what they are, and instead letting them show us who they are. Transgendered folks have always been around, and they will always be around. And they will always be valuable members of our society. They will always be a family member, a friend, a neighbor, somebody we care about, somebody we love. Maybe they'll be somebody you know, maybe they won't. But they should be allowed to live their authentic selves. It's called freedom.
People talk politics too much. When I was a kid, people never talked politics.
Bill, when you were a kid, there was a lot going wrong with the United States. And when people started talking openly and publicly about politics, movements began that changed society.
And now, all people talk about is politics all the time. What is Facebook? It's arguing with some kid you went to high school with. You were in chem lab together. And now you have to talk about who's on the Supreme Court?
Yes, it is important to talk about the Supreme Court. Oh my God, it's so important. They have the ability to affect everyone in the country. They can make rights and take rights away. It is vitally important to talk about the Supreme Court. What Bill needs to realize is that the issues aren't what's changing. It's how we talk about them that's changing. And this is a good thing because it can lead to changes in the physical world that benefit everyone. It's called progress. Folks like Bill would rather keep brushing these issues under the rug than to talk about them because he's comfortable where he is. Just because his life is going well doesn't mean there aren't people out there who need to fight to get a tiny fraction of the comfort he takes for granted. He doesn't want to confront that he's benefiting from a system that is still oppressing others because it would mean that if he really is fighting injustice like he claimed, he might have to sacrifice some of his comfort and change with the times. Or he can continue whining about how it's a burden on him when others talk about their oppression. For more of my stuff, you can find me on social media as Left of the Box. Don't forget to hit buttons and leave comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time, get informed, get involved.